Hi, today we're going to talk about cellular metabolism, which is basically what happens to nutrients whenever they get inside the cell. We eat to obtain nutrients, and those nutrients can provide us with energy. And this is a pretty complex process, but we just want to lay the groundwork and give you a basic knowledge of how that works. So let's go ahead and get started. There are many reasons we choose to eat the foods that we do, but the real reason we eat is to get energy. In the human body, that energy is ATP. We get ATP from the food we eat through the process of digestion. Let's take a look at the chemical side of digestion, which is called metabolism. Metabolism is divided into two parts: catabolism and anabolism. Catabolic reactions break down nutrients. They're also known as hydrolysis reactions. Anabolic reactions are building reactions. They take the product of catabolic reactions and build them into materials that the body can use. They are also called dehydration synthesis reactions. The catabolic reactions occur in the stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. In these places, carbohydrates are broken down by catabolism into glucose. Then, anabolic reactions build them into ATP, or a small amount is stored as glycogen. Fats are broken down by catabolism into fatty acids and glycerol, and then anabolism builds them into ATP or stores them. Proteins are broken down by catabolism into amino acids. Then anabolism builds them into new body proteins. So, those are the two sides of metabolism. Now, let's take a closer look at the anabolic processes, which are broken down into three major processes: glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. Within the cell, glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. The Krebs cycle and electron transport chain take place in the mitochondria. We'll start with glycolysis. During glycolysis, glucose from carbohydrates in our diet that went through catabolism and glucose that has been stored in the form of glycogen is converted into two molecules of pyruvate, which will go on to a different anabolic process. It's also converted into two ATP, which are used as energy. Remember, that's the goal of metabolism, is to get energy. And two molecules of NADH, which will go on to another anabolic process as well. Let's follow the two molecules of pyruvate. If the body has inadequate oxygen, also known as anaerobic conditions, like when we're exercising intensely, it produces lactate or lactic acid, which in large quantities can be a problem. That's why it's important to breathe. Most of the time, we have adequate oxygen and are operating under aerobic conditions, and the pyruvate goes through an intermediate step where it is converted to acetyl-CoA. This acetyl-CoA will go on to the Krebs cycle. It also makes two carbon dioxide molecules, which are exhaled, and two molecules of NADH, which will go on to the electron transport chain. Now let's move from the cytoplasm into the mitochondria and follow the acetyl-CoA into the Krebs cycle. The acetyl-CoA is converted into two molecules of carbon dioxide, which are exhaled, NADH, which will join the NADH created in the intermediate step at the electron transport chain, ATP, which is our end goal of energy for the body, and FADH2, which continues on to the electron transport chain with the NADH. Oxaloacetate is also produced, and it joins with the incoming acetyl-CoA to continue the Krebs cycle. Now we'll move to the cristae of the mitochondria for our final anabolic process, the electron transport chain. In this pathway, NADH and FADH2 are combined with oxygen to make ATP, the end goal of metabolism.